It is 2:38 in the morning. It is the 19th of December, Friday, the 19th of December, 2025. It's not going to be 2025 for much longer. And it's day 205 of Project X. And I think this video is going to be a very important one. So if you are listening to this and like not sure whether you should watch this, just give it a go because this took me a bit to get, so it could be very useful to someone else to have it just laid out for them. Or maybe it's going to be complete waffle. We shall see. But today was a day. I'm going to get to that later, but I want to hit the other stuff at the start. I was yesterday in the description of the video I wrote because I had a thought just as I was posting it, and I wrote, I feel as though I should be more annoyed about the fact that the day was just, it was normal. It was like average for where I was currently at. So it was a fucking insane day for when I first started this, because I did things, I did work, and like when I restarted this, obviously there's a big gap in the videos, but when I got back into my swing, it was an insane day compared to that. But for where I'd worked myself up to, it was just like I did an average amount of work, I didn't got an average amount of other stuff done. I didn't really push the boat out, and I talked about that in that video and like reasons why and stuff like that. But it was like I was that whole video I just talked about how I was just kind of like okay with that, and like it was just the way it was and whatever, and stuff along those lines. It wasn't completely like I talked about it like that. It was like it arose because of mistakes that I'd made at previous times, and it was less the fact that I was saying that that's fine. It was more the fact that I was saying that it's happened, I'd made mistakes, and let's just move on. And I do get that. I'm not trying to say that I shouldn't just move on. I don't want to rattle my mistakes around in my head and stay in that failure zone like I was talking about. But there's a fine line between not doing that and just forgetting about it. I still want to, and this is what I'm going to talk about now. I needed to get angry because of that. That should have pissed me off. I need to be annoyed about it, and this is why. And the why is the important bit. Do I want to be just average, or even do I want to be just like slightly above average? Do I want to be mediocre, or do I want to be great? Do I want to be like really great? Do I want to be incredible? Well, then I have to push it that far. If you want great, you don't push it to good, and then when kind of a good, you're like happy with good. Good is fine, okay, but it's not great. So I'm like, fuck, that wasn't great. I'll try again tomorrow. And in that pursuit of greatness, yeah, maybe I'll hit great once or twice, but in that pursuit, my standard for what good is gets pushed up to great. And then I'm thinking, oh, today wasn't great, but maybe I'm looking at incredible, and great is actually normal, and good's in the rearview mirror. I've got to keep pushing myself to that level where I. It's like there's a really good video on the internet. I referenced it in one of my other videos, and I can't quite remember it, but it's quite famous, to be fair. It talks about levels, and like natural capacity and all this kind of stuff. But you go to this level and you get to the top 5% of people at this level, and everyone starts going, oh wow, you're so good, whatever. You get to the top 1% and you're like fucking elite for this level. But then you go to the next step and you're in the bottom 10% of people for this level, but you're still above here, but it's a whole new level, so you feel like shit, which is why most people don't want to go to the next level, because you feel like shit. It makes you feel bad. because you're at a new level where you're not that good anymore. It's like going from year 5 football to year 6 football. Different kettle of fish. You ain't the same person anymore. Luckily, everyone else is doing it. But if you're in year 5 playing against year 6s, you went from being the best in year 5 to you might even be the worst player on the team now. But then you play against better players, and you get better, and you get better, and you get better. All of a sudden, you're the best in year 6, even though you're still year 5. And it's that, but constantly trying to push myself to that next level where I suck, and where it sucks a lot. Because once it starts to get to the point where, I feel decent, I feel good. I'm not hating it. Like, I'm going towards that top end, let's say, of this level. I'm not going towards the top end of, whatever. I'm going towards the top end of this level. Great. Phenomenal. You did a bit of the work, but you got to take it to that next level now. And that is what I need to do. That is why I need to get annoyed. Because I can't be happy with just, that was pretty good. Because great is always that step higher, and so great, maybe I'm in, the top 10%, okay, and good is like, in that top 10%, I hit good, I'm like, oh wow, that was good, tomorrow, oh wow, that was good, and I keep hitting that, I'm like, oh yay, that's great, but it's not, averaging that same isn't great. What's great is, I hit that top 10%, fuck, that wasn't great, hit that top 5%, okay, good, hit that top 5% again, that's good. But then if I hit that top 10%, that's bad, because that's not progress. I want to make progress every single time, and do it consciously. So then when I'm striving and when I hit that top 1%, I'm like, holy shit, that was great. And then it's like, the only place I can go from here is here, but that sucks and I'm not very good at that. But it's still up. And I think sometimes it's hard to make that leap, and I'm making it a very abstract image right now because it's not the same thing, but I do need to make that leap across to different things maybe, or other parts of the same thing that I'm not, that good at. It's hard to rationalize it to what I'm trying to do, that explanation, but I want to be great. I want to be incredible. I want to be a lot of things, and I need to push myself continuously. I need to get annoyed when I just hit good, because you don't see the best in the world at whatever it is they choose to do. Just do good and be like, okay, no, that was good. It was good considering I made, a couple mistakes. It's like, no, that wasn't great. And that's what I want. That's what I need. And okay, yeah, you might say, like, oh, but then you'll never be happy. That's not true. It's not like I'm not happy with the good. I put in a day's, but it's not. It's not. It's not over. It's not what I want. It's not like you can appreciate a coffee, right? That might not taste exactly how you want it to, but it's still a nice coffee. But it's not the best coffee. So next time you still might make it different, even though it was good. So I can still be happy about things, but want to do better. And that pursuit might even be what brings me happiness anyway. I mean, it seems to be doing pretty well to do that. Like, the actual pursuit of greatness rather than necessarily the greatness itself. Or, greatness is like a word it's so abstracted here. I mean, what even is it? Like, the pursuit of bettering myself might be better than the actual bettering of myself, which is really weird. But sorry, I had a dry lip. That looked really weird. I don't know, but I've got a beanie on and some necklaces, so I think I can just say hippie shit and get away with it. I don't know. Those are my thoughts at the moment. Now, this is maybe going to be a slightly longer video because now I'm going to talk about what happened today. I got up late because I'm a mong, and I can't sort my sleep out, and that's the next step for me. There we go. And where that comes from, that getting up isn't going to come from any shitty guru morning routine that I'm going to see online. It's not going to come from someone giving me the, one, two, you jump out of bed, and you make your bed, and then you don't go back into it, which I've tried before, and like all this kind of stuff, or like you leave a glass of water by your bed and you chug it when you get out of bed and you won't go back to sleep, all this kind of stuff. Because what it's really all down to, how bad do I want it? How much do I want it? I need to prove to myself how much I want it. And I think that's what I'm going to do over this Christmas. I mean, I've been trying to so far, but now I'm going to try a little bit harder, and I'm going to keep trying a bit harder until I get on one of these videos and go, I'm going insane, I can't do this anymore, it never ends. But it does never end. But maybe falling in love with the pursuit of it is what I'm going for, and maybe that's going to happen, and that would be pretty fire if it did. And we'll see, you know. Um, how bad do I want it? That's what I'm going to find out. That's what I'm going to show myself. And I want it really bad. And I do. But also, it has to be, I don't know. I mean, want what? Like, it has to be false. It has to be not real because I'm not what I want. And so it has to be made by me. It has to be strong enough to make me want it. But it has to be not real. It has to be my idea of achievement or greatness or striving, or what would you say? Success, I guess. But it has to be false, not real. A floozy, a wazi, a woozy, Fugazi. Um, that's from Wolf of Wall Street, isn't it? Yeah. Um, because I'm not it, and it's not real. I'm pretty sure David Goggins said this actually. Um, and so, in order to make myself want it that bad, I have to create that image, which is what I'm going to try and do. And tomorrow, I want to prove to myself how much I want it. In fact, this week, this weekend, starting today, starting tomorrow, starting all of it, I'm going to prove to myself how much I want it. Do you know why? Because I can't sort my sleep schedule. I can't hit my protein. I can't sort my sleep schedule. I'm going to sort that motherfucker tomorrow. You know how I'm going to do it? Because I want to. No other reason. I want to get out of bed. I don't want to get out of bed, but I want to get out of bed. I want to prove to myself that I can get up early. So, right, it's like 3 a.m. now. How bad do I want this? 10. Half an hour to fall asleep, 6.5 hours sleep. 10 is a lot earlier than I normally get up, which is probably not a good thing. But, like, yeah, normally it's like, I got up at 12 today and I was like, come on. After going back to sleep at 8 when I'd set my alarm. Average, really. But not good. These little in jokes for myself. But then I have to be like, but nah, fuck that. I hate that. I do hate it. It pisses me off beyond all end because I sit in my little hamster ball in my brain and go, oh yeah, I can't sort my sleep schedule. Oh, I've got this problem. Oh, I've got that problem. But really, all I need to do is sort these for myself. And how am I going to sort it? How bad do I want it? If I don't want it that bad, it's not going to fucking poofty poof magically happen. I gotta make it happen, and the only way I make it happen is by doing it. And because I struggle with it, then this is a moment where I show myself how bad I want it. How bad do I want it? I feel like I've said that about a billion times by now, so you've probably got the idea. I'm gonna get up at 10 tomorrow, and I'm gonna be like, yep, hey. I'm not though, I'm gonna feel like a zombie, which is why it's gonna be hard. But then, in that moment where it is really hard, I think what I need to realise is if it wasn't so hard, it wouldn't be taking this much of me and it wouldn't be so important. If it was an easy thing to do, it wouldn't be so important to me. But because it's so hard for me, I don't know, maybe for some people it is easy. Fucking whoop-de-doo. This is a hard thing for me, okay? because it's such a hard thing for me, that's why it's going to be so important. And so I'm, I'm going to feel so proud of myself when I crack it. And I know I'm going to crack it because I want it so bad. So struggling with waking up, but not dead yet.